Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to Thursday Literacy with Ms Harkins. Today is Thursday, and we're going to be continuing on with our free verse poems. So we're going to be writing our free verse poem today. So our learning intention for today, what is it that we are learning? We are learning to write a free verse poem. Today you will know you have been successful if you can do these things on the list. I can use my planning to create my poem. So you're able to use your planning from yesterday, the sheets that you did yesterday, to help you complete your poem today. I can use poetic tools such as alliteration, simile, metaphor, onomatopoeia, repetition, and repetition. Also, this is an important part with free verse, I can have fun and play around with word choice and organization. Free verse is all about having fun and playing. There's not as many rules, so there's a lot of room for fun. I can write my ideas into lines. I can group my lines into stanzas. So here is a very important message. If you haven't done yesterday's task, then go and do that first. Then come back here. If you haven't done yesterday's planning, you're not going to be able to write your poem today. So I'm going to say see you later to those people, and then you need to come back and do this afterwards. Okay, so I would like you to go and get your planning out from yesterday. If you need to, just put me on pause, but I'd actually like you to go and get your planning sheets out from yesterday. Okay, you're all back, and hopefully you've got your planning sheets, and if they're online, don't worry too much. But I just wanted to go over this part that we did yesterday. Did you brainstorm emotive words yesterday? These are words that will make the reader feel emotion. If you didn't add those, I'd like you to add them now, okay, if you forgot. Let's just go over what they were though. We had this list here. Okay, so words like agony, cruel, honest, panic, tremendous, urge, vile. So remember, you had to think about how you wanted your reader to feel. So with poetry, you want your reader to be feeling emotion. What type of emotion was it? So if you were wanting your reader, if you were going to entertain them, and you wanted your reader to feel angry, you might use, you want them to have that emotion. You might use words like riot, vile, wicked, forbidden, atrocity, appalling. Those types of words are going to make your reader feel annoyed and angry. But if your purpose was to get your reader to feel annoyed and angry, and you used words like magic, ecstatic, freedom, they're not the right type of words, are they? They're not going to bring out the right emotion in your reader. So if you haven't already added, if you haven't got emotive words on your brainstorming list from yesterday, I'd like you to pause the video right now and use this emotive language word map to help you, and I'd like you to brainstorm some emotive words about your topic. So some words that are going to make your reader feel. So let's go over what I'm going to put myself on top of Miss Goldman again. No, I won't. I'll put myself next to her. She keeps telling me she doesn't like it. So what do we know so far about poetry and about free verse poetry? Let's just do a little tiny fast recap. Poetry pays attention to rhythm, to rhyme and rhythm. Well, free verse doesn't have to rhyme, but there should be some rhythm. Poets use a limited number of words. So you need to remember, so words like they went to the beach. We don't need they went to the beach. They went to the beach for a swim. Swimming at the beach. We don't need to have unnecessary, boring, everyday words. Get rid of them. We only want the exciting, descriptive words. And we're not writing sentences, we're writing lines. So we don't need to have complete sentences. So we don't have to have they had an urge to dive in to the magnificent water. Urges to dive in. Magnificent blue water. See, I cut out the boring words. Okay, so ideas are written into lines. Lines are grouped into stanzas. So remember, stanzas are like a little paragraph. Language is figurative and rhythmical. So today we're going to look at some, we'll go do a recap about some more figurative language you can use. And your reader might actually have to read your poem more than once for it to make sense to them or to be able to read it fluently. Okay, so these are some of the poetic tools that can be used in free verse poetry. So remember, there's not as many rules, but you still need to use these tools to make it good, okay? To make it creative. Remember what your purpose is. If you're entertaining, you do not want to bore your reader with words and birds, words and boring words. Okay, so alliteration, similes, metaphors, onomatopoeia. Yes, I think I can say it right, finally. Mr. Kilpatrick helped me today. Personification, imagery, and repetition. So we have looked at onomatopoeia yesterday. Remember, that is when you use a word and it says the sound. And repetition is using the same thing over and over. So poetic tools you can play with. So here's some things that you can play with. You've seen these before, but let's just do a quick recap. So similes. A simile compares, so these two are similar, similes and metaphors. Some people get them mixed up. So I've put these on here to help you. You can pause this if you want to use these to come up with some ideas for your own poem. So similes. A simile compares two things using the words like or as. So similes will have either the word like or as in it. Busy as a bee. Sparkle like diamonds. Hungry as a bear. Flat as a pancake. Hard as a rock. So each of these lines, they are comparing two things using the words like or as. Metaphors. Metaphors are a little bit different. A metaphor is a figure of speech that compares two things by saying one thing is the other thing. So one thing is the other thing. Oh, this is terrible. The lion. Ooh, that's a shame. That's very fuzzy. I'm not sure what it was meant to be. I can read this one here. Sorry, guys. You are the sunshine of my life. The lion's heart, the heart of gold. Oh, you are the sunshine of my life. Oh, that's a real shame that they are not there. So it is saying that one thing is the other thing. So you are the sunshine of my life. You are my rock. You are my rock. You are the sunshine of my life. Why can I never think of things on the spot? So you can Google if you need to find some other examples of metaphors. So metaphors say one thing is the other thing. Okay. And alliteration. You guys have been doing alliteration since you were in kindergarten. Alliteration is repeating the first sound or sounds in a group of words. So repetition of the first sound or sounds in a group of words. So Sally sells seashells. It is the repetition of s, s, s. It is when the first sound is repeated over and over. Okay, onomatopoeia. I think I'm getting better for the beach. So my topic was the beach. So the words that I came up with that actually represented the sound, so when we say them, it sounds like the actual sound, is whoosh, crunch, ha 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 ha, splash. Okay, so now we're actually going to get into writing our free verse poem. Woohoo! But there is a little bit of a format that we would like you to follow to help you with your first one. So you're going to be writing 3 stanzas. So 1, 2, 3. So 3, they're like the paragraphs. And each stanza is going to have 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With the first line, we want you to use your onomatopoeia for your first line. And then on your second line, you're going to use it again and again. So, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. What poetic tool do you notice that I've used? Yes, I've used onomatopoeia, but I've also used repetition. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. I've repeated the same word over and over again. And so the first line in each of your stanzas is going to have your onomatopoeia. Oh my goodness. I should just call it the sound word. No, I can't give up. Onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia. It's going to have that. Whichever one that you choose, that is going to be we are going to repeat that for the first line of each of your stanzas. Sorry, my dog's just going into rooms behind me. So your first line of your first stanza will have whoosh, will have your chosen onomatopoeia. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. So we have got our first lines actually completed for each of my free verse poem. Now, the second part that we need to do is we actually need to start putting in, so I've got out this is my brainstorming from yesterday, my brainstorming words. So I've got that out and I've got that there ready to help me. So remember, now I need to organize these ideas into the lines in my poem. So each line should have a different idea, and each stanza should actually be about a different part of your topic. So let's have a look. So my first stanza was about kind of just getting to the beach when you get to the beach at first. So I can never see my mouse. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Magnificent, sparkling water, and urges to dive in. Noises of delight and excitement was all that could be heard. Oh, so I was meant to click that first. So I've already gone over this. Now I need to organize my ideas into lines, and then group my lines into stanzas. I've got 3 stanzas, 1, 2, 3. You will have 3 stanzas all up. So I've done my first one. Let's have a look at my next stanza. So here's my first stanza. Let's have a look at my next stanza. So my next stanza will be about a different part of my topic. Crunching sounds came, diving like a dolphin. Freedom from the world. Swim, swim, swim. So I have, at my last line, as you can see, I've used, what tool have I used? Repetition. Swim, swim, swim. And this stanza is about walking down to the water and diving in and feeling free like a dolphin, I suppose, swimming like a dolphin. So I have used repetition here. I have also used diving like a dolphin. That's a simile, so I've used another tool as well. Okay, you guys are going to go and do that now. So you need to, here's our checklist for today. You need to watch the video, which you're doing now. Then you need to print off the worksheet or copy it neatly into your workbook. You need to make sure you use yesterday's planning. If you haven't done yesterday's planning, you need to go and do that first before you write your poem. And if you needed to add some extra words to your brainstorm, to your list of brainstorm words, you need to do that also. Use onomatopoeia repeated for the first line of each stanza. So whoosh was whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Put ideas into lines. Each stanza is about a different part of your topic. So my first part was about getting to the beach. My second part was actually about going for a swim. And my third part would probably be about just laying on the beach, being nice and peaceful. Okay. Really annoys me, this mouse. It's very delayed. Each stanza is about a different part of your topic. You need to use 3 different poetic tools. So alliteration was where you use the same starting sound over and over again. A simile or a metaphor, onomatopoeia, and repetition. So you need to make sure you've used 3 of those tools. Play around with different word choices. So now with my poem, I'd actually go back now and I'd actually have it play around. See if I can be cleverer. Work is neatly presented. Double check I have completed all my tasks to the best of my ability. Then our extra task today is to complete 20 minutes of read to self using a good fit book or using one of your Whooshka readers. My class, only a few people have Whooshka readers at the moment, so you guys can read on Epic. So have fun with writing your free verse poems today. If you get stuck, you can go back, rewind the videos, fast forward the videos in back to the parts that you need to. Free verse them. Have fun with this. Good luck, guys.